we go see MJ, and I'm sharing this project with him. I'm like, hey, MJ, I'm from Portland, Oregon. That's a no-no. And I happened to be wearing, at that time, a triple black Detroit Tigers hat. So before I finished my sentence, MJ said, you got 2 strikes already.
He's called you out.
He called me out. That was my first formal meeting where he was like, and he, no smile. He was like, you got 2 strikes already.
All right, welcome to the Todd Boffo Show. Today, I have the privilege of sitting down with a pioneer. You're a pioneer, man. A world in the world of design and leadership. Ronnie Wright, man. Ronnie Wright. That name rhymes. It's like you got a stage name right out the gate. Your parents knew you were going to be a star. But Ronnie has spent his career shaping some of the most iconic brands in the world: Adidas, Mecca, Pony. I had ponies back in the day. Some of you aren't old enough to remember Pony. But I know many of you remember and won Jordan and Nike. You collaborated with some of the best athletes and creatives on the planet through your career, including Michael Jordan himself. I know that you made history as the first Black American vice president of footwear design at Nike, which is impressive. A role that not only showcased your talent, but is a trailblazer in your leadership. So I know through all this journey of your life and these accolades, you don't like to brag, but you also got a faith and you got a family.
Yes, sir.
And you've been blessed to do many things. But one of the things you said, you create with empathy, be a sponge, seek group perspective, and you believe that design is more than just a product. It's a personal expression, its culture, and its story.
Yes.
So today we're going to get to hear up close personal the story of Ronnie. Welcome to the show, bro.
Thank you, my man.
Appreciate you being here.
Yeah, glory be to God.
Yeah. Well, I got to say, man, you've had this incredible career. I mean, Adidas, Mecca, Pony, Nike, that's some brands.
Yeah.
Looking back, what got you into design? Were you just doing this when you came out the womb? Were you just making up?
It wasn't called design then. It was daydreaming. I was daydreaming of saving the planet and drawing spaceships, and when I should be doing homework, and cars and Spider-Man outfits, you name it. And it was everywhere, sketches everywhere. And that eventually, as you get older, your interests change. So my interest went from spaceships and saving the world to cars and girls and fashion and whatever, and stardom and all that. And so that's where the design came from. But music was the main piece of this. My parents were holy rollers. I called them hippie holy rollers. Psychedelic carpet and shag everywhere. And the beautiful thing about it, I tell people, music was like family. It was like we played every day. And so with music and wanting to be a dope drummer or whatever, rock guitarist, all that, as I got older, I began to design it. I began to daydream it. What does the stage look like? The instruments, all of that. I had the Prince Jerry curl with the gold tips. No blackmail pictures. But
We'll find some.
But definitely that turned into design. Once I graduated from high school, was what are you going to do? And music didn't seem like an opportunity from Portland.
Who was the music you were listening to back in then?
Oh, you name
Can we even say 80s? Can we say that? Or are we not just
farther back than that?
Okay.
Listen, when I say psychedelic hippie soul people,
okay,
on one side of the album, remember we had the big stereo system.
Yeah, oh right? Yeah, it was built. Yeah,
Ohio Players, Brick House. Oh, you on this side? Right. On this side, Mr. Clean or James Cleveland or the Clark sisters on this side. It was the consistent we see was
sky is the limit for what I can have. That was Clark sisters.
I grew up with all of that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Man, that's amazing. Did you play instruments too?
I suck, but yeah. I mean, what's funny is my dad, obviously growing up in church, music's part of it. And
yeah,
that's your gift. That's your gift. He didn't have formal lessons, but he knew how to read, and he would compose all the vocal harmonies for the Ronnie Wright singers. By the way,
wow,
that was the name of the community choir. He would compose all the harmonies and write each note out, and that's when I fell in love with the detail of it all. But for me, I wouldn't consider myself a musician, but I love to write. I'm dangerous enough.
Gotcha. Yeah. What
which
do you?
ties into my pillars, by the way.
Well, and when you love something, you'll
Yes.
be good at something.
Yes.
It's easy to be good at. So I love to cook. I went to
Yes.
culinary school back in the day.
Yes.
And I enjoy it. I love the entertaining aspect of cooking, and I also like the eating
Yes.
part of cooking. I discovered early, like my mom's busy. She's like, "You want something? You cook it." I'm like, "Really? Okay. Well, they solved that problem real quick."
Yes.
But I've said to people like, "Man, I just wish I knew how to cook." I'm like, "But do you like cooking?" 'Cause
Yes.
if you don't like something, it's hard to be great at something you really legitimately don't like. But if you like something,
Yes.
you can be great at anything. And not everybody's great at everything, but
No, that's
not everybody likes everything.
That's true.
So, but it's so funny what you said in school, because we were talking about a little bit before about being a daydreamer. We like didn't even know what ADHD was back in the day.
Yeah.
And like they didn't give out grades for social interactions. So I wish I had that weighted average in there.
We were A plus.
Yeah, I would have been. Yeah, I mean, honor society
Yep.
and this and that. But of course, they wanted you to have science and English grades.
Yeah.
But it's true, because I mean, in that creative world, I mean, this is just a testament to, for anybody watching. You know, you're wondering like, I might not be a strong academic performer.
Yeah.
You don't have to be.
Yeah.
It's great if you are, but you don't have to be that.
I think we're a lot alike. I was going to mention this to you. I never missed a day of school, but my grades were horrible. I would say I love going. I was socializing and talking.
I know. Like I we talk about it, like I liked high school.
Yeah,
it was
loved
fun for me. Yeah, sports and stuff.
horrible.
Yeah. So, man, I think. Tell me about your first big project at Nike that you ever did. Like, what's one that stands out to you?
The first big project was the 25th anniversary of Air Force One. I had just got to Nike in 2005. We work about 18 months out, so I was very right. So
whatever you see dropping, that's 18 months
18
prior.
months prior. So I'm still brand new. I'm looking around at people. They're looking at me like, what are we doing? What do you tell me? The shoe's 25 years old. What do you do to a 25-year-old shoe?
Right.
But what a blessing. I think everything that prepared me before that was a blessing leading into understanding how you not design for design's sake. You design for culture's sake. This is not, people think this is about trends and insights, and they miss the big point. If you don't mind, let me take you all the way back, because it always talks.
Yes, please.
When I got my start in this industry at Adidas, the person who hired me is a gentleman by the name of Peter Moore. Peter Moore was the original art director for Nike. You and I are around the same age. You know all those dope posters that you and I yelled to our walls after tape? Iceman, Gervin, Poops, Moses Malone. That's Peter Moore. Peter Moore designed the Wings logo, the Jordan Wings logo in the first Air Force AJ1.
Wow.
So, of course, unbeknownst to me, I don't know who Peter is. But I wanted to bring him up because of the fact that if you want to talk about seeds being planted, and you don't even know that they're being planted, by the time we get to Air Force One, 25th anniversary, he has already planted a seed through Peter to bring me to this point. So by now, I don't talk about trends. I talk about culture. Peter taught me that. So my first real big project was actually at Adidas, and it was a project called All Day, All Night that God blessed me with. You'll love this. When in New York or in the big city, you pack what you're taking with you because you're not coming home.
Right.
Right?
Right.
It ain't like out here, we get in the car, we want to go home, get a snack, get in the car, go home.
Right.
You're not doing that in New York or anywhere. So you pack what you do. And I was down at West 4th at the Cage, and I'm watching guys play ball in Tim's. I'm like, now that's not uncommon in New York.
Right.
But obviously they have somewhere to go after here.
Right.
They didn't dress up in Tim's to go play basketball.
Right.
And it clicked. What if I could create something for the baller who loves the ball but has a real life that could adapt to their day, all night? It wasn't about trends or insights, or trends and insights come from culture. It was about culture first. That's the culture of those who love basketball. So I wanted to say that because if you go to Air Force One 25th anniversary for Nike, what was major was I had to first respect the culture.
Yeah.
Right? It's about the triple white and the triple black. It's the stories I told you about when the original 6 players got through with the shoe and Nike was done with it. How it became a cultural icon was because the streets wanted it.
So tell that story real quick. They do the launch.
Yeah. Phenomenal.
And Philly's played a part of this. Come on, Philly.
Philly
Shout out
played
to
a
Philly.
crucial role in
Yes.
this. After the shoe, did its damage on the basketball courts of the world back then, obviously, a company like that, Thinking Future, is ready to move on. Air Force One story is a dope story, by the way. There's a first of everything on the Air Force One. But fast forward through that. What was beautiful was Baltimore was first. Baltimore started calling like, yo, where's the shoe at? I need this shoe in my life.
And Nike's already prepared to move on.
Nike's moved
Just in case anybody's wondering, I do have some Air Force Ones on.
Triple whites.
Triple whites.
Triple whites.
I'm an original.
So Baltimore, all the consumers, the coaches started calling the stores, and the stores started calling Nike and said, hey, can you send us more shoes? We need more shoes. And so Nike was like, let's spend some more colors. So as that seed got planted there, it began to take off. And then it ended up in Philly. And Philly was doing the same thing. One of my favorite stories was back when we didn't have cell phones. You would call long distance if you needed to get in touch with somebody, collect, to let them know you were reaching out.
Some of the kids these days, they don't know nothing about collect. I mean, you had a pay phone. You're not calling collect from your cell phone. You had to find a pay phone and then call collect. We used to call my parents collect. Be like, yo. Be like, call collect, we're ready to be picked up. They'd say, they decline it, and they knew we were at the mall. They'd be coming and pick me and my friends up at the mall. But yeah,
Hang up.
life was hard back then. Gen Xers, man, we lived it.
They don't know.
They don't
even know phone numbers. We had to memorize.
Oh, you had to memorize. What, you memorized your very first phone number?
No.
Growing up, you remember?
But I do remember my grandmother's phone number.
Do you?
Yes.
I do. Mine growing up was 856-627-1554.
Wow. Oh, wow.
That was my very first, growing up. I remember it. I just remember it. Yeah.
Retain well.
Yeah. I'm like Rain Man.
So it took off where one of the things that happened was you would call this store and ask this Mr. Shoe in. And if they say, yes, he is, you would hang up, but you knew that the new colorway was in.
Wow.
And that took off in Philly and Baltimore. And
then
they bleeded into New York in Uptown. These dry goods up in Uptown begin to take off. But to your point, Philly and Baltimore, they ignited the culture. They planted the seed. They were part of the plan of this.
And so that market drove it. I mean, it's an interesting point. There's a lot here from a leadership perspective. Some of the entrepreneurs that watch this, first of all, how you start is not how you're going to finish.
That's
not
true.
Who you are.
That's true.
It's just in general of all the stories that we have with all different kinds of people. And there is something to be said for loving something. That's great.
Yes.
But we used to say it this way. It sounds like, don't love the deal. Don't fall in love with the deal, because you can fall so much in love with the deal.
Yes.
It can't evolve. It can't move. And then if it doesn't work, you got to move on.
That's design.
And then if it is working, you got to shift and ride that wave longer. Yes. So don't love the deal. That's flexible.
That's
enough.
Design. That's what design is. So designing with empathy. So my 3 pillars. What's important is I was asked to speak at a local engagement, and they asked me, what's your process? We want you to talk about your process. And I began to think about my process. I was like, oh, this is not about a how-to. This is really about life lessons. And so to your point, what you and I think, again, very similar, we're visionary.
Yeah.
But we understand visions need to breathe.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
That's a great way to put it, man.
Because once you lock it, you're not growing. So my pillars are this idea. When you create with empathy, first you're learning, you're studying, and you're approaching it with passion, culture. The second one is be a sponge, because you know what you want to do, right? But if you've already said it's probably not going to end up the way, now you've allowed for that to breathe, because you're absorbing everything. And in that group perspective, what's powerful about that is once you're humble and you allow for what I like to call, I have an idea, what do you think? Right? I'm so humble with that.
Right.
That's going to open the door for perspectives that the follow-up to that is, I didn't think about that.
Right.
So if you told me and Chris Monroe and a couple of us a story, we would have a lot of overlap visually. But when we began to talk about it, there would be edges that, oh, I didn't see that, Chris.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, Chris, you know what? I didn't see that. I love that. But what if we did this? And now the snowball happens.
That's good.
And that's how I am with music as well.
Yeah.
I'm not an accomplished musician, but I have an idea.
Yeah, that's good.
So I approach all my friends who play, musicians, and I go, what do you think? And I remember getting in an argument a slight argument with a phenomenal musician. His name is Parnell Newton. Parnell is Jill Scott's trumpeter.
Oh, okay.
And they have a group here called the Rose City Horns. And I went to him, and by this time, I'm very versed in writing a brief, design with purpose, and let it breathe. So I come to him and this is the idea, and I play him. We got some tracks done, and I don't have a horn section. I need the music goes like this, and I need the horns to just dot it, right? I'm gonna give you a brief. Here's some visuals. Here's some songs of reference. Blah 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 blah. And I left. Why? Because I'm not a trumpetist, right? So I left. He recorded. He sent it to me, and I was like, "Oh, this is phenomenal." I wouldn't have thought of that. But now that I've heard it, can you change this? And he said, well, why didn't you stay? I was like, because I didn't allow for it to, I wouldn't have allowed for it to breathe.
Yeah. I said it this way in some variation. It's really hard to learn what you think you already know.
Exactly.
You
Exactly.
You can't. And it's, you've heard my dad used to say it this way. It's like, hey, it's what you don't know that will really hurt you.
Yes.
It starts your growth. It's not what I don't know. It's just what I don't know. I got to realize it. Well, and you think about this idea of creativity. This is really important for anybody who's watching and they're trying to, because the higher you go, whether you're in business, family, you're creating a life.
Yes.
And everybody right now, we think in pictures.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
All of us think in pictures. And we're creating something, we're thinking about something that hasn't happened yet.
Yes.
Nothing's happened yet. So everybody watching, like the next day, the next week, none of that's happened yet.
Yes.
So the question is, what do I think about now? What am I like? I love this filter that you've created.
Yes.
About like, hey, this is how my approach, and everybody needs an approach to life. When I work with people,
Yes.
One of the things I've done, even high level people, because the higher you go, they're bigger problems.
Yes.
There's a lot more at stake.
Yes.
So, I mean, talk about that. Like, what are the pressures at working at any of these shoe companies? Because you bring up a great point. It's a 25-year-old shoe.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not like it's like you're coming out with something brand new, which is still risky.
Yeah.
But and it's iconic. We're not talking about something that's a little bit popular. Super people like it. It's a niche market. We're talking about a massive market. So what are those pressures like? How does that work internally there?
You know, I had to look down at your shoes to make sure you were wearing so this version of that shoe is a version I did.
Oh, no way.
Even
Okay.
the Dubray on there, the little metal thing on the front, was for the 25th anniversary.
Well, let's get that on there. So I don't know if you can.
So what's funny is
right there. Yeah. What's that called? The Dubray?
Dubray, yes.
You know what? I'm going to start throwing that around. People say, they're gonna be like, hey, you're wearing the ones with the Dubray.
Right.
You'll be like, were you French?
And then everyone in the footwear industry is going to be like, he knows what he's on it. He's on it.
I'm always like, you don't need to be an expert on everything. You just learn a little bit and not enough. And then keep the conversation
I'm glad
going.
you said that. That's it right there. But that's the piece. That's the most important piece of what you just asked. It's knowing enough, but then being humble and willing to go ask, right? And most people in corporate won't do that because they hired me to do X, Y, and Z, and I should know how to do it. You know, it's funny when I hear people say, what's that term? Fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
No, just be real.
Yeah.
The fake is the real, right? Yeah. The fake is the fun.
I always say faith it till you make it.
Thank you. That's
because then I'm looking forward and I have an expectation of what I'm trying to build, and I'll figure out my way there. I mean, my conversation with Bryant at the F-15 pilot, like, you're on a mission. You got to accomplish the mission. Now, all of us aren't fighting in a plane for our life, but we're all fighting for something, and we're going to have something.
Right.
We're going to land somewhere.
Right.
Why not land with this expectation of like, okay, I have this, I got this idea of this perception. I want to figure this out. I'm going to figure it out. You know, I don't need to fake anything.
No, you have to, because you have to ask.
Yeah. You think about the idea of creativity. The cool thing about creativity, anything everything here was created by somebody, and it started here.
Yeah.
Nothing happens apart from somebody somewhere. Use this.
Yes.
They may or may not have been educated. They may or may not have been experienced. They may have been the first thing at some point. Was the first thing they ever designed. What was the first thing you ever worked on like a professional level? What was your first project?
Oh, geez. Oh.
Or that stands out.
My favorite story. It's my favorite story, and it ties back in. It's funny. Again, when I thought about it, it all ties back in. I went to an interview with a local sportswear company, and I was talking about my own brand, and I was designing and all that. But I was talking about my brand, and I left that meeting. You know, I was humbled enough to ask the right question. It was, you know, how could I improve as a designer, and what should I take away from this meeting? And a gentleman by the name of Owen said, "Hey, you know, you got nice hands there, but good luck with your brand. That hurt, right?
Wow.
Ooh, ouch, right. Fast forward in 92, 94 was when I saw an ad in the paper for a graphic designer for Adidas.
Huh.
I love sports.
Right.
I played sports, music, whatever, designing, all that. And I put together, I had to type it on a typewriter. The mantra, and it was around college sports. You're going to love this. You remember 94 was the Fab Five.
Yeah.
We were in love with college sports.
Yeah.
You had you had the UNLV run right before that,
Yeah.
and then the Fab Five. And so I wrote about, this time it was with empathy, I wrote about college sports and college life. You know, skip your real family. This is my new family. And then I reflected that through, you know, like the passion was, you're bold, you're proud, it's your family, it's your tribe. You sleep outside in the snow just to be the sixth man on the basketball court, yelling at this school you hate, and you don't even know why you hate.
Right.
This is your religion, right?
Right.
So I captured all of that. Now, granted, I'm immature at this time. I didn't realize what I was doing. I was just sharing my passion.
Right.
You turn the page, and everything I drew, which is all black male, it'll be out in a little bit, definitely reflected all those words. And that was my first real project.
Wow.
Peter Moore interviewed me. Again, I don't know who he is. Here's his
So
name.
you get in the interview with him?
Here I am riding my bike at 13 going to buy those posters that Peter Moore designed.
Wow. And you have no idea that's who it is?
No idea. I walk in, this old guy's looking at me, and he interviews me, and I got it right this time. And he looks at me and he says, hey, you're a little green behind the ear. You need to work on your design skills. But he said, you get this consumer. Now you see where the whole idea of empathy, create with
That's
empathy,
good. Yeah.
right? It's about culture. I didn't realize it. I was talking about the culture. And that was my first professional project. You're going to love this. And I know that we Christians, we love to try to be humble. And I'm going to counter this what I cried about it. But I designed some number 3 shirts with stripes down the middle of it. Crisscross.
Oh, wow.
Working in their last ever music video. Right? So I would just watch that video as much as possible on the beach, just crying. Like,
You're like, that was me.
That was it.
Dude, that's huge for your first one to come out the gate with something like that?
Yes.
That's crazy cool.
Yes. Queen Latifah wore the polo shirt on her in Living Single. Like, that was, and you couldn't tell me nothing then. I was on top of the world.
Oh, yeah.
Fashion diva. I made it.
You're like, I don't know if you knew this, but you guys hear crisscross? Yeah, that was me.
Right.
Hold on, let me show you. Right. I got it queued up.
When I do presentations, I put that in
awesome.
there. And of course, there's nothing but young people in the audience. So I'm like, none of you get
right? You know, like, text your parents later. They'll be impressed.
Right. Yeah, we all wore our clothes backwards. Yes, we did.
So let me ask you a question. I mean, this had to be obviously it's a big milestone. What was that moment like when you became the first Black American VP for footwear design at Nike? What did it mean for you watching, for you personally, and I mean the people watching from your circle? Like, what was that like?
This is going to be surprising. I didn't want it.
Really?
Yeah. For me at Nike, there were legends before me. We talked to Dr. Wilson Smith, the first ever Black designer in the Hebrew world, and there were others who were in front of me. When I got to Nike, I was the 5th Black design leader at Nike in 2005. You grow and you learn a lot of things, and it's not about the position. It really is about your service.
Right.
And so I got it. It wasn't that I didn't get it, and I wasn't necessarily surprised too much by it. A part of me is really strives to be creative, and the other side is really strives to serve people with love. I'm a great people person. I love people. But when it came, I learned a lot of hard lessons, a lot of political lessons. And I'm not a political guy. I'm not good in those rooms. I don't know how to put this on and hold the cards close. I'm just authentic and free and open. I was listening to Dr. Evans this morning talk about meekness. And I'm like, yeah, that's kind of me. And, in corporate, at VP level, you don't find too many meek people.
Right.
So for me, when it came, I was humbled, but not happy, because what I was coming from was my space of freedom to talk to, encourage, coach, cheerlead, teach how I want to. My freedom to create. I have my own crew, full staff, and we were having fun. No one was paying, well, people started paying attention to me because we were doing some crazy stuff. But it was out of the political realm of basketball.
Gotcha.
See, I've done basketball. Basketball, political. People dream of, I want to go design for LeBron. Do you know how many people are involved in the politics of LeBron? Right?
That's a great point.
People only see the shine, they don't see the struggle.
So even getting that product out, there's just so many.
Right?
Yeah.
So the VP position I knew was going to be that.
That's crazy. We're just talking about a shoe or a shirt or
Yeah.
whatever else. It's apparel.
Yeah. Yeah.
But everything's been so politicized.
Yeah. 18 months. You had 18 months to talk about it, argue about it.
So it wasn't even just, do we like this product? It was more so.
You're less
stuff.
of a creative and you're more of a salesman or a firefighter and a politician.
Just trying to make a deal.
And the
that
higher up
works for
you go,
everybody.
right? The higher up, the less. I love Rich Dad Poor Dad. I hated reading, but I listened to it. We would design. My boy, he would have it on his thing on his tower.
Kiyosaki.
And it was funny because it would be on random, so it would be listening to DMX or Wu Tang, and then all of a sudden, my Rich Dad. But it was phenomenal. And the thing that stood out to me was one of the things that stood out to me was the fact that at that level, it's not about your skills in your physical skills. It really is it's here. It's a game of heart and mind, and your job is to convince people. You're a politician. I don't think being a politician is a bad thing. Mm-hmm. Politicians are fighting for something.
Mm-hmm. And people have different views on how to get there. Yeah.
Now, if you don't have the art of it,
forget about it. You're not going to have anything. Yeah, and
So-
you'll be really frustrated. Yeah.
right? So for me, that I didn't want, but hearing that and knowing a company in 2024, I'm the first, and the company's been around for 40 years,
Right. Yeah.
it was important.
Yeah. And how many employees there at that time, roughly?
Around the
Total.
around the world, there's 70 to 80,000 they tell me
Unbelievable.
tonight.
And you're that's a big deal.
8,000 around campus.
Yeah.
It was a duty, or it was an obligation.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't doing it for me. People, minorities, women, other people needed to see that it was possible.
Right.
And so that was what was important to me, as the role.
Mm-hmm.
It was a service role for me. It wasn't I was feeling like, Jonah, Lord, why I got to go there?
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm going the other way. I want to go to the other city.
Right.
I want to do what I want to do. I get the gift. Thank you for the gift. It's not what I want to do.
Yeah. Well, and this gets back to, like, sometimes people get in situations that's one of my questions is, tough or good, what have your prayers been the last 6 months to a year?
Oh, man. I love
Because
that.
there's sometimes when you reflect back, you're like, man, some of the conversations that haven't happened,
Yes.
this might be an answer to that.
Yeah.
And it's like, and the other thing is, like, sometimes we want to pray for God's blessing, which you're right. But when you say, I want your blessing, God, what you're saying is, I want more responsibility.
Yes.
I want more weight.
Yes.
And when we're genuinely praying that, we're thinking, where we're saying, I want less weight. I want an easier life. Really, what we're asking for is more.
Yes.
And, to who has little and is responsible, more is given. Like,
Yes.
It's just a principle of life.
Yes.
If you're good at building at this level, you can scale to the next level.
Yes.
You can't scale until you've accomplished the first floor or the second floor. So,
Right.
yeah. So,
and each thing doesn't have the same weight, right?
correct.
So in certain areas, I'm like, I don't want to be, even to this day, I'm like, you don't want to be VP
Right.
because it comes with this.
Yeah.
Are you ready for this? Right.
Right. Yeah, I remember even just, I have so many examples in that. I remember, but one in particular. My dad was a pastor for 30 plus years, 40 years. When I took the church over, pastor the church, senior pastor, and then I remember a couple years in, I wrote him a letter, and I just said, Dad, now I was always there. I was in the house. I was assistant. He let me do a lot. So I was there, but it was different. That one seat was different.
Yeah.
The weight. right? The weight was different.
The weight was different.
Right. So like even for people, entrepreneurs out there, like working for some, maybe you're running everything, but when you get on your own, it is what you're meant to do.
Yes.
It's what you're driven to do. It's your passion and all.
Yes.
But when you get there, there's a new weight.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
It's just, there's no way to know. You can't stress test all that because you don't know that until you're in the seat.
Yes.
And I sent him a letter and I said, Dad, I'm so thankful that you, and he's still around. I'm so grateful for him.
Yes.
I'm so thankful for you not giving up.
Yes.
Willing to do it because he didn't do it for money. It wasn't for fame or fortune. Him and my mom were great people.
Yeah.
I mean, it was perfect, but I had a great life, great family.
Yeah.
I saw him serve, love, struggle, make mistakes,
Yeah.
everything, but not giving up in a job
Yes.
that it's just could be really hard sometimes. And I hit it, and I was only a few years in. I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is, man, I don't know what to do. Like, how did I figure it out? Like, I guess, and there's no clear path, but you got to deal. You gotta hold the results.
Yeah.
One of the things that you said that I really, really liked. I mean, you talked about these. What did you call them again? So empathy, be a sponge.
Oh yes, my three
pillars, right?
Yes, my house is collective potential, and under that is the idea of create with empathy, be a sponge, and group respect.
Yeah, but you said something too because you lead with love.
Yes.
But you said love isn't love until you give it away.
Yes. Yes.
Where did that come from?
It's that's always been in me. I just love people. I love giving love away. I love helping. That's my selfish. That's one of my selfishnesses is giving love away. It makes me feel good. But that term actually, one of my favorite groups all time, I tend to pattern my singing after is Fred Hammond and Commission.
Yeah.
And they had a song called "Love Isn't Love Till You've Given It Away." And
right, shout out Fred Hammond.
Fred, yes, he killed that song. But I think what was huge for me in that isn't that our charge.
Mm-hmm.
You said something, and I'm gonna try to connect them all. It's like, Lord, I want to be this, or I want to do this, and I want to have this. And at the end of the day, the common denominator is not the word is not I. It's I'm gonna give it to you for my glory. Is what he's saying.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm gonna make you successful that you can be a testimony for my glory to others. You're a piece of the puzzle. You're not the it.
Right.
And when we think about when we're giving agape love away to our kids, or whoever it may be, we're automatically in a mindset of sacrifice.
Yeah.
What if you applied that to everything?
Right. We've just lived that way.
Right? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Gotta live that.
I'm going to work for somebody else.
Yeah.
I'm going to be successful for somebody else.
Yeah.
Cut it up. How you want to cut it? Emotionally, testimonially. My music brand is called Bespeak. I was researching bespoke, and I came across bespeak, and some of the synonyms are for tell or testify. And I was like, that's it. And the reason why it stuck was because we all have a testimony.
Yeah. When you sing too, so another thing you might not realize, singing, you got a hit, kind of went big, pretty big in the UK at least. So shout out to all of our family members over there.
Yeah.
But I do have a question though on that design side, and your approach is great, love it. But how do you balance that? Right? There's this let's just say this idealistic view of something. And then there's a practical view of balancing like this creativity, but there's also the need to design for a global audience with a brand and make money.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So like
Yes.
we can be idealistic, like have these ideas at the same time. If you don't capitalize on it, you're there for a job. How do you balance those two things?
It depends on the project. It really does. Air Force One was for a particular culture of people. So you don't compromise that. Because once you water that down for everyone else, then you lose.
Don't try to reinvent the wheel.
Right. Don't.
Is that what you're saying? Yeah.
Right. Don't design a basketball shoe for the basketball culture and put ice skates on the bottom of it.
Gotcha.
Now you're trying to please everybody, and
Right.
no one's happy.
Right.
So I think from a global standpoint, yes, we do have insights team, we do have trends team, but they're trying to pay attention to the mass of culture. Also, in a company of that size, you have regional teams. So you have a special team that's just for the U.S., right? So usually what happens is global says, hey, the new black is copper, right? And then for us common folks in the neighborhood, black is black, right? I'm just using that as an example. Sorry, Nike. So the regional team will say, hey, you know what? The culture here, though, the new black ain't copper. We still need triple black, right? And so there's that balance that has to happen. When you're designing for mass market, what you really want to be is really authentic to who you're talking to. And then everybody will buy in. You know, again, got to mention this. And you can correct me. One of the insights we found was people in Philly say, you want to head down north and not up north.
Yeah, people do say that. Yeah. So we're even down, down in common thing, like down the shore. But down the shore might be like the shore is this way. You're not really going down,
right?
Like south necessarily.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's authentic.
Right.
The world will buy authenticity. They won't buy fake. Or they may buy trend, but they won't buy fake. And that's why I keep going back to culture. We put down north.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
And,
yeah.
Everybody else may not have gotten it.
Right. But they got it. Yeah.
And that's what's important to the globe, especially in this day and time. You're talking about a billion brands. Everybody has a brand. And for me, what I've been really hooked on lately is the fact that the more authentic your brand is, the more people will follow you.
Yeah.
Now, if you're spending time chasing them, you're watering down your brand.
So it's such a great balance, and you hit the nail on the head. I've said this in the book. When talking about notes, I heard somebody talk about the frequencies, right, of notes.
Yes.
So like if somebody's playing a note on a trumpet, and say you have 88 keys on a piano,
yes.
right? The only note that's going to be the same is that one note that's like. There's a lot of keys. They all make noise.
Yes.
But they're not going to reverberate except for the one that's the similar one. So the more I could get to the point of playing my note.
Yes.
And being okay with whoever that's for.
Yes.
And not in a bad way, but I know my market. I adjust. But
yes.
I'm not going to stop playing. This is my note. For me, I'm a bridge. I'm a networker.
Yes.
We're building a community. We're building world changers. We're building a network of high performers who accomplish much, but they're also looking to build together and change the world and impact it in a positive way.
Yes.
Actually, the world's better because they lift.
Yes.
So that's what I do. I'm trying to stay in that. No, I am not a sales trainer. Can I talk about that?
Yeah.
But that's not what I am. I'm not a family marriage therapist. Can I talk about? Do I do premarital? Yeah, but that's not my main thing. Like I had somebody recently, you need to start a show and do this. It could be so good. I'm like, great idea. That's not your thing. That's not me. But the tighter you can get with who you are, and I think for a lot of people, one of the things too is confidence in who you are.
Absolutely.
Being confident, because if you don't have confidence, it doesn't matter how many people believe in you. Absolutely. You will never move to your potential. Because I got to believe in me more than anybody else. Now, I'm thankful for other people who have helped me to win my sales. That's important, and it's helped me get here. But unless I believe in me, think about this. God could put me here, give me life, give me talents, give me abilities and opportunities. And it believes, and all of that in me and in you, because it sent you here for us to do something, reflect something. The only thing that could stop it is me not believing it.
Now, can I...
Yeah, please. Yeah.
I've always loved, I think we're in love with, when you're in love with what you do, retirement is not an option.
Right. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But, I think what's beautiful about your testimony is we would be lying if we didn't say we had doubts.
Of course.
Right. And so I love that when you said that, did I ever doubt I've had project rips. I tell people this. 80% of what I design is a failure.
Wait, talk about that for a minute.
I threw it away. Wow. So the 20% left is what I presented. And guess what? 90% of the 20% that I left is a failure because everybody else looked at it and it's not good enough.
Like it's boo-boo.
Right. I've been doing this for 31 years. I've been having people, that's not it.
And here's what's great about this. This is good. Let's touch on this for a little bit or sit on it for a little. Let it breathe.
Yes.
Is that everybody's creating something, right? I have a lot of high performers that watch this, so they're always, and you wouldn't do it if you weren't believe in it. Like you wouldn't put it out there as a thought or idea or concept, and it's coming from somewhere inside of you. Again, it's not just right; it's inside of you.
Yes.
And then when you have somebody like, I don't like this idea, I don't like that, or I don't like, it's the part of life that all of us have to get over. And it happens to everybody. So welcome to life.
Yes. Yes.
It sounds harsh, but it's just welcome to life.
No, I tell people this all the time. So again, music performing is tough. Music is tough. Am I nervous before every show? Absolutely. Guess who else is nervous before every show? Janet Jackson. She said it. Her testimony made me feel good about them. Like, I could get up here and screw this up. Yeah. So let me be sure on one thing. He gave me the gift. Let me be sure on another thing. All I have to do is believe.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
Whatever comes after that, it was meant to be. Right. And so for me, I think that was important in understanding that, because again, like I said, with design, yeah. I mean, failure was all the time. How about this? 18 months passed. Where I started, let's glue this. Where I started, my vision, me being humble and saying, I have an idea. What do you think? Everybody from every angle, all the disciplines are commenting, poo, 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 for 18 months. Now, technically, it's not where I started anymore. It's not what I initially thought of. And everybody's fingers in it, and we release it, and the rest of the world hates it. Now we all fail. And we know that exists. I see all the sneakers.
How many times does that happen?
Oh my God!
Like, what percentage of time does that happen?
I had a shoe, and I hate doing things. I had a shoe. I'm holding a shoe, and they wanted to put it out there. Somebody's like, he didn't even comment on the shoe. He's like, he looks like Tyler Perry. Get this old dude off of here. You know what I'm saying?
Why you trashing me, dude? That's just a shoe.
I've been there. Yeah. You're right. Now I can't comment back.
Yeah.
My biggest successes, even the big successes, it's somebody's on there poo-pooing.
Right.
All the time.
Again, that note isn't for everybody.
I don't even care.
Yeah.
I get it, but if I'm caring about them, I'm not paying attention to him.
Right.
Yeah. This doesn't happen without me first recognizing, I say this all the time too. This is an analogy I say. Growing up here in the Northwest, and we're getting close, it's going to rain.
Right.
And out here, you can tell someone who's not from here on the streets and somebody who's from here. Somebody who's not from here, they have an umbrella and a coat on, and they hiding from the rain, like, oh my God, right? And the rest of us is around here walking around with Parker jackets and shorts on and flip-flops.
Is that right, Nick? You verify that. He's giving thumbs up. It's all right. He's a hiker, so he's probably walking in the rain.
Nick knows this. All you got to do is when you fly to Portland, the next time you fly, just look around who's going to Portland. Right? So what am I saying? We expect the rain. There's a song on one of Jill Scott's collab albums, and Will Scott talks about the children are playing in the rain, and the person wants to get them out of the rain is let the children feel the rain. You know it's going to rain, right? Live in it. Right? It's about faith. So for me, if the majority of my professional career, and somehow I've gone up to be a VP, has been, that sucks, Ron. At some point, I have to let go of the loss and turn it into what did I learn. My daughter said it to me. My daughter happens to work for Jordan Brand. She does retail space design. She's in Philadelphia right now.
Yeah.
Weirdest thing, right? Weirdest thing, right? I remember holding her, and now we were carpooling together. How crazy is that?
That is cool.
I'm sorry, Corey, I'm going to blow you up on this one. But, she would always get in the car and just be fussing about something. And then I would give in, and I would start fussing. She'd be like, so-and-so is blah, blah. I'm like, oh, I can't stand so-and-so either.
Right.
But I remember saying to her, she said, how was your day? And I said, it was tough today. She said, Dad, you don't lose, you learn. What if we approached everything?
Don't lose, you learn.
Right? It's the David piece, right? David, what was cool about David, Saul was chasing him.
Right.
David hid in a cave. Saul was right there. But Saul chose to ask first before he made any moves because he was already told the kingdom is yours.
Yeah.
Apply that to everything.
Yeah.
Right? So even in the lost, you'll be like, I'm supposed to learn something from this. It's not a loss.
Yeah, and just to encourage anybody going through struggle right now, I love that story. One of my favorite parts of that story, David and Goliath. We see David, that's his biggest battle. Really wasn't his biggest battle. But I mean, there's many battles we could look at, but I would say, he said, hey, the story talks about, hey, he fought the lion and the bear, which gave him the confidence to fight Goliath. And also there was a cause, so he had to fight for. So these are great leadership lessons. Like, hey, we look at what we've been through that's equipped us for today.
Yes.
The Goliath in my life today.
Yes.
You know, sometimes we're asking for a blessing, a promise, and then when God delivers us, he brings us a Goliath.
Yes.
Because we have to overcome that.
He has to.
He has to. And it's the way that life
He
works.
said he was going to.
Yeah. And then not only that, then he goes on, and then the further part, which is where I think one of his biggest battles was, you know, he knows he's going to be king. He's been told he's going to be king. But he's on the run. He's not going to kill Saul. He's trying to do it honorably. And then they have this big battle, and then they lose everything. They come back to Ziklag, and everything's gone. Their family's gone. Their stuff's gone. Everything. And he's like, okay, wait a minute.
And didn't they want to stone him?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So men that were traveling with them, they're like, dude, we lost everything. We want to kill you.
Yeah.
And so that's the one part where you see where David says, the scriptures say, well, one, he inquired of the Lord. So he praised. He cried. They cried. It said the Bible said they cried till they had no more tears.
Yes.
So just think about that. That's like crazy. So for anybody out there right now, and you're watching, maybe you're going through a struggle.
Yes.
Maybe you've cried yourself out, or you just feel like you're in the middle. You don't know. You're like, you know you have something inside.
Yes.
You know you have more to accomplish.
Yes.
You know it's there, and yet everything around you speaks the complete opposite. I want to encourage you, because David said, he encouraged himself as Lord. He said, what do I do next? He said, pursue.
Yes.
And David recovered all. He said, you will recover all. So whatever you need to recover, there's going to be a pursuit. And there's a point where you have to make a decision.
Yes.
You're either going to stay on this side of
loss. Yes.
Or learn the lesson.
Yes.
Or learn whatever needs to be learned, and then pursue.
Right.
And so he pursues, and then right after that is when Saul's killed. They go back, they get everything back, and immediately after that is when he becomes king. Every promise was on the other side.
On the other side.
One moment. Everything led up to it, but that one moment.
Exactly.
He could have literally given up that this close to him of every promise of what he was supposed to live out. So,
and to that point, doesn't it seem like every challenge, every situation in David's life became a bigger one and a bigger one?
Yes.
And some, he had no problem. Goliath, the Bible doesn't speak of him being scared of Goliath.
No. Right.
He knew who he had backing him up, right?
And but he knew the prize. He's like, wait, where are they going to get again? They're like,
exactly, right?
Tax-free life. You're getting a girl.
Right.
It's like there's a win-win situation.
Right. That's the scary thing to me is now again, we're older, so we can deal with this differently. Now that I know that, I'm in everything that I'm doing, I'm actually I'm human. So, for example, I a year and a half, 2 years ago, I got a U.S. patent for like the most stupidest common thing that happens in everybody's household. And I was shocked I got the patent. And I only got the patent because I was frustrated that this thing that I was trying to do, I couldn't do. And I'm like, there's nothing in any store that does this. I got a patent. When I got the patent, yes, my carnal side was like, man, I hope right?
There's a lotto.
Babe, the Mercedes is coming. What you want, right?
Yeah.
But there was another, now, old me would have stuck to that. That would have been my purpose and drive. New me said, that's cool, Ron. What does God really want from this? So here's the scary thing. Why I'm sharing this with you is because I've already made that a testimony. I tell people I have a patent. And they go, oh. And I go, no, I'm not making any money off of it. I'm waiting for God to tell me, to show me, what am I supposed to be learning from this patent? Because he already told me I have a gift. He already showed me I have a gift. He's proven me in the gift. This is a new area. I've never worked in this area before. It's not competition or anything.
Right.
But I'm not successful at it from a carnal standpoint yet. I'm already happy.
That's good.
How
Wait a
about-
second. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Is it a patent having to do with not hitting your feet against the corner in the middle of the night? Is it
No.
something to do with that?
Yeah.
Is this solving that problem?
No, and I'm hurting from that right now.
I'm
I'll
sorry.
create something.
Just put that on the list. Will you put it down there? And like
I'm bringing you a QVC with me. We'll sell it together.
it's a toe stopper.
But
that's so corny.
that's the hugest piece about this to me is understanding that
good.
whatever the noise, good noise, bad noise, whatever's in front of you, whatever the challenge is, or the not hard challenge. I'm saying like, if we do this, we're going to be successful because they traveled lost for 45 years when he had already gave them victory, right? But they didn't. You have to first accept the victory.
Yeah.
It's already come. It may not look like what you want it to look like. So if you start there, if you humble yourself and start with, you've given me way too many signs for me not to pay attention to this.
Yeah, there's too much inside of you. I've talked to people and they're like, man, like maybe between jobs or they just
Yeah.
had loss and it's big things. Our country's dealing with a lot of loss in different ways. People are dealing with loss. But here's the reality. We're going to live to see another day.
Yes.
And you may have been told no by this person, that person. You may have been cut off. Maybe you're not
Yes.
sure how to make the next step.
Yeah.
But you got every gift and talent you've ever had. Most likely, you are more talented now than you have ever been in your entire life.
Yes,
you know
sir.
more now
Yes.
than you ever knew in your entire life. Think about that. You're the most valuable you ever been.
Yes. Sir.
And, you know, aliens didn't come steal all the money from the planet. So it's still accessible and you have a gift. There's opportunity. So it's me shifting that. I do have a question on that leadership side of things, you know, in leading that team. What were some of the attributes within that team that you think helped make it successful, or for other people leading a team, especially a creative team? Because I will say this, even in churches and stuff, I love you. So there's people who are going to watch this, like, but creatives like musicians and stuff, like they could be quirky, man. They could be woo-woo sometimes. They could be a little, and I understand why, because they live in a different world, and I'm that to a degree, right? So I get it, but like, it's more different, way different than dealing with an accountant, you know what I mean? Or so what are some of the ways of managing a creative that you found are creatives?
Yes.
You know, to be successful.
They're the easy ones. For the people who aren't creatives, or no, let me clear it up because I have something for you with that. The people who aren't designers are the people who don't understand designers, who don't understand musicians. To me, that was the tougher one. So what I dealt with was, and I'm sorry, I'm just going to be repetitive because, like I said, I'm 56. I came to these 3 pillars. They make sense in everything I do. Let's go back to empathy. So empathy leads to influence, right? And the beautiful thing about influence, if you've found that key, that secret button to someone, that means that you both have trust amongst each other. So you got to know them, and you were open and authentic and transparent. Right? My youngest son, it's always the youngest, right? They're always the ones. They paid attention to the older two, and they're always trying to cut the corners and be deceitful, right? And you see them coming, you're like, man, I see you coming.
Right.
But because we have an authentic, transparent relationship that's trusting, that even when I know you're trying to take advantage of me, I tell new employees of mine, my goal at the end of the day is to manipulate you and you me. And the only way we get there is trust. And the only way we get to trust is authenticity. That takes empathy, right? So that's for everyone. I start there. I start there with the designers. It's easy with them because I can relate to them. But with my marketing partners, they may not understand, why are you guys doing what you're doing? I need to know you first.
Right.
I need to know, and to be honest, I need to know what triggers you.
Right.
And you need to know what triggers me. You need to know about, I had someone, we got in an argument back and forth. She was like, you don't need to know who my family is. You may be going through something.
Right.
I don't know.
Right.
But I'm watching your performance go down.
Right.
The more I know about you, the more I'm able to help you.
Yeah, bro, I am 100% with you because I'm the same way. When we build our student business, we build other things, the church, I'm super relational. So it flows out of how I've been wired and built. But I also think, how are you going to lead people you don't know? And number two, how am I going to lead people if I don't care about them at all? So people do it, right? So that's transactional. It's not. Now, it's buzzwords like, hey, we want to be transformational leaders, not transactional. Yet, don't tell me, show me.
Show me.
So you say you want to be that, but like, if this is how you treat people and this is what you see, then that's who you are, right? That's
the most successful, when you hear about stories from some of the most successful athletes, they don't tell you that their coach made them better physically. Like, yes, I learned this. They usually start with, that's a part of it. They usually start with, he got in my head. She got in my head. Right? Meaning they built a relationship.
Yes. Yeah, that's good.
Right? And so for me, that's been my huge success. I actually am writing about that. I was going back and looking at all these projects. And one of them, I won't go too specific, but one of them, I got moved to this group. Nike, 20 years, I had 12 jobs. 20 years, 12 jobs. I didn't ask for any of them. They just moved, right? And at one point, I began to realize that if this was design and this was heart, that it started to shift. So that particular job, I was like, why? I need to ask, because I never asked before. I was like, why did you move me here? And you're like, because, Ron, it's a mess over there, and they need someone with heart.
That's good.
Right? And so now I'm looking at all these projects that I've led, not designed, as a leader. And I'm looking at the success, right? And I would post, and I was proud to post, look what my team did. Let me call out this person and that person. And in return, those people, they weren't doing it consciously on purpose, but they would come, Ron, you're my favorite leader. I can proudly say that I'm 56. I hope I got something I did right.
Right.
Brag
A
about
little bit, yeah.
You're my favorite leader of all time. Favorite leader, heart, the work. Favorite leader, heart, the work. The work is successful. Why? I got here. It wasn't about this. It was about this and heart. And that's how you win with teams.
Yeah.
They gotta know you.
What would be your, like, if you just had to use 3 words to describe the best team members that you would want to put in your team, what would be your top 3 words to describe
Dreamers.
your ideal? Okay. So
Dreamers is one, for sure. And to be honest with you, analytical creatives. I do want to, because I keep coming back to it, it keeps slipping from me. Dreamers, because they're visionary, they're not analytical. So you need creatives on that analytical side who are talented, who are creative in organizing and strategizing the dream and the vision. And then honestly, you said 3. The last one would be just, I don't know, a pool of creatives. I don't even know.
Okay.
Those first 2 are almost the extremes. And I think you need people to be creative on both of those extremes. And in the middle is a sliding scale from spoken like a true artist. We never do grass.
It's not that clear.
Can I say this real quick? Who was it? Buffett. Warren Buffett did a 2-day talk on NPR. And I happened to listen the night he was on there, and the lady asked, well, Warren, at the end of it, she was like, well, Warren, what do you do every day? I mean, you're the richest guy in the world. What do you do? He said, I still look at numbers. Really? What are you looking at? I was looking at Mars numbers today. I was looking at my Mars bars numbers today. I mean, you're talking about somebody who was gifted and created in something, and God blessed it.
Yeah.
No one called him creative in what we call creative.
Right.
Right? That's what he was gifted in. He was creative within that.
Yeah.
So that's why I say that a very creative, analytical mind, the strategist, gets a visionary over the cross line. We all win. Visionaries never win together.
Right, yeah.
We just talk a lot.
Yeah, you won't get much done.
No.
So let me ask you a question. So you got to work with some of the biggest people in the business. So like from a celebrity side of things, you had the chance to work with. So who's been the biggest, like athlete, whatever, or
my favorite person, I won't say biggest, he probably is the biggest. MJ.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's pretty big, bro.
That's huge. That's
huge. What was like? Do you get it? Do you remember the first time you ever been in the same room with him?
The first time I saw MJ, I was driving home on campus, and I saw him walking in with Larry Miller. God bless Larry. Larry's phenomenal. And I can feel his aura. It's real. That's real stuff. I was like, I feel something.
Wow.
Right? And it wasn't because whatever. Like, you hear all the stories, fell in love with this superstar and they turn out to be a-holes.
Right.
I'm grown enough to go, like, I don't know, he ain't all that. But the first time I met MJ is the craziest story. First of all, I used to live in Santa Barbara. That's when I worked for Pony. And MJ does his camp down there at UCSB. And it's during solstice, and he would bartend at a bar there, just having fun because it was like a party for a whole week. And I knew that he would be, by the time I got the Jordan brand, I knew he would be down there. So I asked Larry, I was like, Larry, I want to take the team down to go see MJ. And the only reason why I asked is MJ came to town. So MJ's walking through the halls, and I'm in my office unbeknownst, and I hear him like yelling down the hall, like, "Where's Boo at? Boo, where you at?" Boo is a famous designer named Precious. Precious is about 5'3" with an attitude of 6'10" person. And he was looking for Precious, one of his favorite people in design. And I'm like, that sounds like MJ. And so I come out and I'm like, oh man, there's that aura again. But it was from like this guy asking for Boo. It wasn't the
Right.
oh, it was like, no, this dude is so regular. And from that day on, you see I haven't stopped smiling.
Right, yeah.
Of being from Portland, Oregon, we go see MJ, and I'm sharing this project with him. I'm like, hey, MJ, I'm from Portland, Oregon. That's a no-no. And I happened to be wearing, at that time, a triple black Detroit Tigers hat. So before I finished my sentence, MJ said, you got 2 strikes already.
He's called you out.
He called me out. That was my first formal meeting where he was like, and he, no smile. He was like, you got 2 strikes already. And all I could do was smile and laugh. But I mean, I love MJ. He was a cool dude. I've had some great experiences. I saw Kobe's first day at Adidas.
Really?
The innocent, looking around Kobe Bryant.
Was that right when you got in the league?
Yeah. Yeah, because remember, he was with Adidas before he was.
Yeah.
I met these are the fun ones. I met Mutombo.
Oh, yeah.
When he was with Denver. So,
Okay.
Again, Peter Moore, Peter passed away a couple of years ago, deeply connected with MJ. All these people, Moses Malone, all these people we named, we love.
By the way, Moses played for Philly.
There you go.
Yeah.
Peter would tell me the most intimate stories about him and Moses Malone. Denver was in town, and that was when it was Mutombo, Jalen Rose, and Mahmoud. And they all came by the office. Now, you can imagine Mutombo, what, 7?
Oh, he's massive.
Massive, right?
Yeah.
My name is Mutombo. And like, literally, my hand was, and he literally, right? And
Like you're covering your whole bar.
and I'm like, I know but what I love is this weird, unique thing about athletes. Most of them, they're highly protective of the situation that they're in. And they have to be that way with everyone because all that energy, everywhere they go, is pointed at them.
Mm-hmm.
And yet, at the same time, they always will have a desire for a relationship, right? Especially in the things that they love to do. We all do. And that's a precious thing to find that avenue through all the shielding and the roadblocks to get to intimate moments with athletes. That's why most designers who work with a particular athlete or star, they never stop working with them because they've developed an intimate, authentic relationship.
Yeah, they don't want to start over, dude. Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah, we were walking around Nike with Chris and met one of I can't remember the young man's name, but he works with the Jordan brand now, and he was like, no, he's the relationship guy. I'm like, there's got to be all these layers. He goes, no, there's not. It's like, that's the guy.
That's the guy.
Like,
You can't get to them unless you go through him.
yeah. Which
And-
makes sense.
yeah.
He's like, sports is like, these are different than maybe other brands per se.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still relationships.
Yes.
But it was a really good point. You know,
I feel like if you're not careful, you lose it.
what do you mean?
You got to, like, there's a couple of things that we go back to. Let me ask you a question. If you can say there was one thing that Nike stood for, what is it? Outside of sports, that's the easy one. What is Nike like the best at? What's the one word that Nike's the best at?
Oh, man. For me personally, okay, so I'm like, I like Air Force Ones. I'm not thinking a philosophical thing. I just like style.
Okay.
Or a look for me, but I don't know. What are you leaning into? But
Nike literally leans in on performance, style, and soul.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So
right. Yeah.
All right. So you were right. There's one piece.
And when I was younger, for sports, all Nike.
Right.
Yeah. My cleats, everything was
You didn't
performance.
Question.
Yeah.
Right. You didn't question. Right.
No.
Got to be authentic to who you are before you can be authentic to who you're trying to reach, influence, or connect with. That's relationships. That's every piece of this. That's from Jordan to one of my favorites, Cynthia with CPFM. Love her. Shyest girl in the world. She's a phenomenal designer. She loves who you're going to be interviewing later, Wilson Smith.
Okay.
And the Air Up Temples. Wilson designed, the big AIR.
Oh, yeah.
Wilson designed that shoe. And she loved that shoe. And when we met her, my job is to go, I need to be able to have empathy so I can have this relationship of trust and authenticity.
Well, I love this concept, and then we're going to move on here in a second, but I love the concept of empathy because that's the way I believe. And I do think we live in a world where you still have to be able to get stuff done. You still got to hold people accountable.
Yes.
You still have to perform and get results, right?
Yes.
We're not just sitting around singing Kumbaya, just feeling good about everything. At the same time, we're in a world of other people.
Yes.
and it matters. It matters how you lead. It matters how you treat people.
Yes.
And we, and in a world where we're all trying to hustle and make money and trying to make more. Like, there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
And we should never put a ceiling on ourselves. Like, God, do that.
Yes.
But if our heart's right, we're doing the right things.
Yes.
We should expect more. At the same time, how we treat people matters.
Yes.
And there's this balance. And you can get so much out of you. The best part of life is people.
Yes.
The hardest part of life is people, if I were to talk about it.
Absolutely.
So, but I want to lean into, even when we talk about what I'm doing here and brand and all the things, like, even people that work for me and other people, like, I want to live this. This isn't theory. It's not something I think about. It was like, it's what I made in my life. I've said, that whole scripture we talked about, hey, with being a great Christian, Jesus was like, hey, what's the greatest commandment? Jesus was like, he could have answered anything. He could have answered a lot of things. He doesn't even bring up the 10 commandments. Not that they're not relevant, but he didn't.
He did.
He just said, hey, you know what? Love God, all your heart, mind, soul, strength. Love your neighbors yourself. What would the world look like? Not in just a kumbaya, but what does love look like? Love doesn't matter until you
give it away.
Give it away.
Yes.
So I love that. Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Who's had the biggest, best sneaker collection you've ever seen?
Ooh. Oh,
have you ever seen like something that's just like, okay, that was sick?
The ones that I've seen, actually, designers have the best collection.
I guess that makes sense because they're right there designing it. And do you get access to those shoes as you're designing them?
I'm gonna 18 months. So I have an idea, right? There's tons of iterations that people never see. There's tons of iterations. You can actually look this one up. The LeBron 6, there's 2 different versions. The version we came out with and the version we were about to come out with, but got bunked at the last minute, actually made it to the internet. There's 2 different versions, right? Somebody has those. So who is it? Fat Joe? Who is it? Who's always licking the bottom of? Yeah, it was Fat Joe.
Fat Joe,
I got these, you don't.
Yeah.
Fat Joe, you ain't got nothing, homie. You don't. Designers, they got all the sample, the one-off. I got left feet, size 9s of things because
if you're watching, you got 2 left feet. We could hook you
up.
Man,
listen, I got stuff
that's
people
hysterical.
Just haven't seen before, right?
Right.
But the 2 for me is a gentleman by the name of Leo Chang, who Leo's famous for a lot of the free running and KD's first, I want to say 4 shoes.
Oh.
Leo designed KD shoes. And this other gentleman by the name of Jason Petrie. Jason's known for LeBron 6 till close to now.
Oh.
And other things. They've done other things, but they're known for these things.
Wow.
And in 2007, at that time in 2007, I think Leo had over 1,000 pair and JP had over 1,000 pair in 2007. And the weird thing about their collection, unlike everyone else's, their collections deal with the samples, right? So he not only did he have the LeBrons and probably 100 pairs of those, but he had the iterations.
Right.
Those, and Leo double seals and
so he takes it serious. Yeah.
They both do.
Wow.
I walked into JP's house and he has a giant cavern of storage of stuff. And then I walked in another room and he had shoes, literally about a wall that size. The shoes went all the way up. I was like, is this part of your archive? He's like, well, these are the ones I wear.
Oh my gosh.
So I don't know how many they have now.
Right.
That's the ones I've seen in real life that I'm like, yeah. And
that's impressive.
we all have stuff at home that are just one-offs that people, they're just old samples.
Yeah. So was there any celebrity you ever worked with that gave you some crazy inspiration or funny ideas on the creative side?
Yes. Most do. Interestingly enough, because he's the same person on court as off, is Russell Westbrook. He has his own fashion brand, actually. It's Honor the Gift. It's pretty dope. He was interesting. Cynthia, some of the brands that I loved working with were conscious brands, sustainable brands. There's a brand called Maharishi. Out of Europe, and what they do is they travel the world and to different militaries and get their unused goods, parachutes, you name it, and make this beautiful high-end fashion. And we approached them, and we wanted to work with them. And before we did anything, they were like, "Hey, you're a big company. How sustainable are you guys?" And we were eager and excited to show them, like, "Hey, Nike set standards in the industry, and we gave those standards. But water-soluble glues, Nike was behind that. And then we gave that to the industry, like, because we want the world to be better. Mm-hmm. Here's other programs we're doing, processes that make life better and greener, and shoes. And
so this concept that it's like only just sweatshops, they don't care, they're just trying to destroy the planet at any cost,
right?
Not true.
We had to sell what we're really about because people don't see that. That was one of the best experiences because the collaboration was just, from that point on, it was just vibrant. Like the ideas, the creativity, the details, the attention to details, stuff like that. This is one of them. This is a Maha.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I love these. But I mean, as an example, like, those were my favorites when we were just creative.
What's the craziest place you ever got inspiration from?
Ooh. I can tell you the craziest thing I ever got inspiration from. I saw a bag in Vietnam, and the bag magically transitioned from wool to leather. There was no stitch. You didn't. It just
really
magically, and I mimicked that.
In what?
Footwear, Air Force One Pendleton collection.
Oh, okay.
And it magically just changed.
When did those come out?
That was my best job, by the way. That and women's. Those are my two favorite jobs. No one was paying attention. Ronnie Wright was acting up. Okay. I don't even speak in third person. But I want to say like between 2017 to 2020. But I literally saw it and I was like, I want to put that on footwear.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's not a lot of them out there, but it's pretty dope.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. We're going to wrap up here. I appreciate you taking the time today, man. It's been something. So we're going to do this again. We'll just do it off camera.
Yeah.
But if you were to look back at your career up this point, like what would you want, like your team members and, you know, or even going forward as you're building the rest of your life, what's part of your legacy? Like, you know, people could just say, hey, this is what Ron was about. Like, or what do you think people would say, the people that you have inspired? What kind of words would they use that you're proud of?
I love people. They know I have a heart and I'm authentic and honest and I'm a dreamer. I think those things stand out. I actually wrote this in a song. We're like rain tapping still water. And you know this. The older you get, everything we say and do, we find important. Because how it can affect everyone around us, even when we're not here, that ripple does not stop. And that has always been my dream, was to be popular, as that guy was just a great guy.
Right.
I had to let that go. It was too much of a dream. Because there were some people, I was like, why don't they like me?
You're like, I never did anything to them.
Do you know who I am? They like me. They like, why don't you like me?
Right,
But I know that's what I would want. People, I just want to walk away from this knowing that I've affected people in a very loving way. I don't even want to say the word positive. I think that's too big.
So if you weren't, you go back out and said, hey, you go back, you do anything you want, like even just a completely different career, what would you go jump into?
I'm a creative. Okay. I'll be honest on that. As a kid, I designed spaceships, cars, houses, mansions, clothes, music. I'm a creative. I'm never going to let this go.
Gotcha.
So if I was to go back, I would be doing what I'm doing. Let's add buildings to it.
Right.
Cars.
Just something else. Just product.
Right. I want my own helicopter.
Right.
You know, I still daydream.
Yeah, that's great.
I just drew a hotel the other day.
Yeah, I did a speech one time talking about like here are the five signs you may lack vision. One of them was being overly obsessed with retirement.
Yes.
So it's like, I just want to retire. I want to do nothing. I want to do, and I'm like, no, that's not a right way to live. There's nothing wrong with wanting to settle down. If that's really somebody's dream, it's not wrong, but there's more vision for your life. There's meaning in your life.
Yes.
And unless there's something tied to that time of your life where you're doing something that's meaningful for you, your family, you're like something. Like, but for most people that are builders, if you're a builder, which you are, then we're always going to have to be building something or not. We could choose not to, but we're put here. I just want to finish strong. I don't need to like burn out, but I want to be for every season of my life, honor life.
Yes.
Honor the gifts I have. And then because of the people around me, I want to show up. And then when the last call and the curtain closes,
Yes.
for me personally, it's like, well, at least I lived my life the best that I could and honor God and honor what he gave me. I think everything God gives us, there's an expectation that we grow it.
Yes.
There's an expectation we're supposed to grow it.
Yes.
So one last question here. If you could, God said, hey, I'm going to let you FaceTime heaven right now. You could contact one person and just, have a conversation with, say something to them. Who would you contact and what would you want to say?
Oh, jeez. Never heard that question before. What a powerful question. Oh, I don't know. I mean, the obvious ones would be my grandfathers.
Why would you say them?
I don't have anything to say to them.
Okay.
I want to hear them. I don't know who I would contact.
You mean just hear their voice again?
No, I just love talking to them. So not just to hear their voice, but have a conversation.
Have a conversation, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if I would be saying anything. I would,
right.
I would be sitting in, let's talk. How you been?
Yeah.
Man, what a powerful question. I start there though because they're different men. Little grandpa, it's my dad's dad. He was my best friend when my parents were going through everything that they went through in my teenage years, and that's the most dangerous time for anyone growing up. My grandfather would call me and just bother the mess out of me. That was just who he was. And he would come get me. And even as a young man with kids, he would call me and tease me. And he was real. Bishop Artist Wright. To me, he was Bishop Artist Wright to everyone else. He was grandpa, but that was my homie. That was my guy.
Yeah.
And he had that same heart. People just loved him. He wore his fedora hat. He's from that era. They always wore button-up shirts, suspenders.
Yeah.
My other grandfather was the strict one. He was the no women's coming in my house with pants on.
So he was old school.
He was old school.
The holiness.
Yeah, man. But he was also a phenomenal athlete. But he was so strict with it that he was a phenomenal underhand fastball pitcher. But he wouldn't play professionally because they played on Sundays.
Oh,
but he was so old school. He had the 4-finger glove.
Oh yeah. Wow.
He was our coach. He was our coach in Little League. So during church picnics, I had to think about this because he's my great grandfather. This man had to be in his late 60s, 70s, striking out grown men.
Wow, he could still throw.
Kill him. Grown men. AC Green grew up here. I remember,
oh really? Oh gosh.
Big cousin AC, all those guys be up there striking out But his discipline, they owned things in Portland when black people couldn't own things in Portland. His discipline, I would love to continue to listen to that. And with this other guy, the jokester, Bishop, this was Deacon and this was Bishop, two separate churches.
So you had the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yes.
Man, you lived quite a life. You got way more to go. Second half.
Yes.
Probably better than the first.
Yeah.
Ronnie Wright. Stage name Ronnie Wright. Designer, husband, father. We didn't get into all that, but I know, man, you got a great family, and I appreciate you for being here. And I do want to say one thing as we close. With what you do, as creative, you said a lot, but for anybody watching, as we kind of put a bow on this,
yes,
we're going to go through lives. We're going to have these failures. As a matter of fact, probably going to have some more things that don't succeed than do.
Yes.
But the important thing is that we don't give up.
Yes, sir.
If you have life in your body, you're breathing, you're listening to us now, guess what? That says that there's still purpose on your life.
Yes, sir.
So be encouraged. Take a bunch of ADHD kids or kids that just barely got through school and do something with it like us. Take a leap of faith. Even you watching this was a big step of faith for me, and I love doing what I'm doing. I love what's coming in the future. But, man, it's so good to meet you. Look forward to many, many more times together.
Yes, sir.
And what the next chapter brings in your life. So, anyway, That's it for the Todd Boffo Show. Thanks for tuning in. We look forward to seeing you next episode.